Hello. Hey, it's Monday, and that means you're here with Warren from Bremen, Germany, and
Bridget from Texas.
there you go. Hey, how you doing, Bridget?
I'm fabulous. How are you?
Good, good. Your background is different. You've been redecorating.
I am remote working
Oh,
from
wow.
an undisclosed location in Texas.
Okay, but you're not. It's not like you're remotely working. You are working just in a remote location. All
Yeah,
right. I want to clarify that because I
I'm working elsewhere.
you're working elsewhere at an undisclosed location. That's pretty
Yes.
cool. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm sort of here where I usually often am. But all this blazing light is because there's sun. It's kind of weird. It's hurting my eyes. So we are sans guest this week, but that's okay because we wanted to talk about nonprofits. And important things, like three important things, nonprofits to consider for their online marketing, which is perfect because our second book is coming out the end of July. And, it's going to be specifically for nonprofits. And that's going to be pretty exciting. Um, Bridget, you have a lot of experience with nonprofits. Half of my clients are nonprofits. We both give generously to nonprofits, I'm sure. And so, I think we both have a lot of experience. And I think, and we talked about this before, we're talking small businesses and we're talking nonprofits. Is there really a big difference when it comes to online marketing?
Only in the mentality of the people running the nonprofit. Your
Okay,
nonprofit is a business. Your customers are your donors, your volunteers, and the people that you serve. So
okay.
it's actually more complicated than a small business.
Mm, all right, okay. Um, how does that play out then with online marketing? Because, business is easy. Here I've got my customers, I've got my potential customers, I've got you know, my customers, my repeat customers. If I'm an online marketer for a charity or an organization, nonprofit, then how do I think about people when it comes to my marketing?
Well, you want to keep that connection, right? So
Okay.
with nonprofits, if you have recurring donations or monthly donors, your donations will or your revenue usually jumps about 43%. They've done studies. Now, my information is maybe 4 or 5 years old, but it's easier for that money to come out. I mean, think about how much money we give to Amazon all the time, or Netflix, or like the NBA league just charged me again, and the season's basically over. So I don't really know why I'm paying for it, but whatever. It's only $30, right? And so that's how it is. I'm giving to the World Wildlife Foundation, Oxfam, a bunch of like I do a bunch of little donations, which ends up being about 10 to 15% of my profit because I believe in it, but it just comes out like this, right? You know how, like, we talk about with small businesses publishing constantly and telling you about their products and following you around the internet. Like, some of it can be kind of like a stalker, but when you're giving, you want the nonprofit to tell the donors what is happening with that money. So I signed up to give to this thing. Does Fred have a tank now? I don't know. You didn't write me back. You have to tell your donors what you're doing. So with customers, you're keeping them up to date with products. With donors, you're keeping them up to date with results and with progress.
Okay. But Fred being a sea turtle, I hope,
Yes.
or oh, okay, right, okay, all right. So what I'm hearing is that that sort of the automation, the online flow of money, and having that built in is important.
Yes.
Okay.
Stripe and PayPal offer this as a part of their program to have subscriptions or monthly donors. GiveWP.com, which is the best donation form for WordPress, has a package called recurring donations, and that's what you want. Classy.org has it. Network for Good has it. Like, even when people do fundraisers on Facebook, you could have the option of donating for that. Like, for example, my birthday is this month, so I have a fundraiser for the Five Sisters Project, which is for women in crisis, which, for people who don't know what that means, it's escaping domestic violence. And that brings me to another topic, Warren, is a lot of times nonprofits don't realize that their donors donate because the cause is close to their heart and it touches their identity. So it's very important to continue to give them updates on what you're doing. Like, when, for example, the Five Sisters Project, which is their 501c3, is A Better Way, Inc. So in America, nonprofits, in order to be a nonprofit, you have to be a 501c3 corporation. So you literally are a business, and you need to run like a business. You need to market like a business. And I've been coaching this nonprofit, and now she does little videos on Instagram and Facebook that show, like, every woman that comes, she gets this laundry basket, which is practical, right? And then it's got a handmade quilt in it. It has toiletries. It has pampering things. It has gift cards. It has snacks. So when they come, because they've left with nothing, they get this basket, and it costs X amount of dollars to do this, right? So
Okay.
whether it's email marketing and or on social media, they're updating you about how your money affects the population that you're helping, whether it's the SPCA with rescued animals, or, water, charity water, like, whatever it is. People need to see that they are making a difference, or they're like, they have money, they don't really need me.
Okay, so it sounds on one hand a lot like this is content marketing, but it's transparent content marketing. I mean, every small business does videos, they do magazines, they they do giveaways to make us connect to their products, their
Right.
brand. But they certainly don't say how much they're spending, how much of our dollar for the product goes into what we've been given for free. But
Maybe
they would be
not that overtly, but for example, this restaurant chain called Snooze Eatery, they sent me an email about how they're hiring, right? Because I'm on their list, because I really like their pancakes. And in that email about their company, they have a foundation for scholarships for their wait staff. Restaurants don't do that, but this one does. So you know what it made me think? They take care of their employees. That makes me want to eat there more often.
Yeah, that's going to where what I was
Oh, of course.
say is that, for a normal business, they're not going to be saying that, okay, we'd like to thank you for buying our coffee. 10 cents of every coffee you buy goes into our advertising. Thank you. You're not going to do that as a business, but as a nonprofit, or in this case, as a profit business that has that nice connection with nonprofit, it's actually an advantage to say, hey, from the money that you're donating, this is what we do with it, and this is to be expected. And because we're giving so easily online, there you have a twist to content marketing, which is really of advantage for a nonprofit. I think that's really important because we're giving so much more. I mean, I just set up a PayPal button for a nonprofit client who does a school. They have a school in Nigeria, and so now they used to just take money, the old-fashioned way. You could transfer money to them or send them a check, and now they have a PayPal button. And there's lots of functions. You can ask people if they'd like to donate on a regular basis, but just to test it, I just sent 25 euros over to test it. And I was thinking, if we were testing this process with a check, perhaps, or standing in the room testing the process by my giving you cash, it would probably be a much smaller amount because we're seeing that money. But when we deal with online transactions, that money is not real. And so we deal with larger sums. I think this is exactly why we spend much more online.
It's very real. It's just not physical.
It's exactly. It's really, we're typing in numbers, and it's like, we don't, it's much different than if I had to take 25 euros in cash and go, okay, here it is. So I think because of that psychology that we have, nonprofits could really benefit from that by making sure they're really upfront. Like, here, you can do this online with a trusted partner like Swipe or PayPal, or if there was a trusted credit card.
Well, since you're bringing that up, Warren, I have to say that one thing I wish nonprofits understood is that it's good to be online, and a lot of times they'll say, well, there's credit card fees. Well, of course there's credit card fees. It's 2.9% and 30 cents for almost every single what they're called payment gateways on the planet. But the other thing is that you defer your PCI compliance, your personal information, to Stripe, PayPal, authorized.net, whomever, right? Mm-hmm. So we pay whatever it is. So you can also, I know you can do this with givewp.com. You can do it with other situations where you allow the donor to cover those fees.
Yeah.
And they have the option to click a button, I would like to cover those fees. That happened with a GoFundMe that I just donated to. I had the choice. Now, if I want to, I do it. If I don't want to, I'm like, whatever, that's the cost of doing business. You would get zero from me if you didn't do it online, because I'm not writing you a check.
Yeah.
But if you do it online and it's easy, and this is an important thing, right? So if I'm on Facebook and I'm scrolling, and then I see something, right? And then I click on it and I go on my phone, and then all of a sudden, like your donation form, and this is really important, your donation form needs to be simple. First name, email, amount, approve, donate. That's it. If you want more information, you can ask them later, right? And it needs to be, your website needs to be mobile responsive, because we're holding phones that are 3 inches wide, maybe. It needs to be super easy. That's why I like having the PayPal button, because, and some of them allow you to use Apple Pay and Google Pay now too. I'm sure some are using Amazon Pay, because I've saved my credit card elsewhere. But if I have to get off the couch and go to my purse and get out my wallet, well, I don't know if I'm going to do it now, but I'll do it later. I'll do it later when I'm at my computer, right?
Yeah.
And then later means I forgot.
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
I just don't care anymore, because you just made it so hard. Because people are like, I don't like PayPal. Well, do you like donations? Because a lot of us use PayPal, and then all I have to do is log in, use my face, boom, done, and I'm back to whatever I was doing.
Yeah. Okay, so make it easy for your donors, your members. I think it's really important, as you say. Here is the GiveWP website. So, if people are looking for it, they know they're in the right place. They even have a summer sale. Looks kind of cool.
Yeah, like go back up. Look at that. Look at their GIF. No, go down. But like right there. See, like watch the GIF. Like it's easy. Click a button, boom, click this, boom, it's done, easy. And fill in those donation amounts.
Yeah.
It's okay to pre-populate those donation amounts because people will give more if you have it like that.
Yeah.
It really will.
Yeah.
So the reason why you would want to do something like Give WP on your website is you collect the donor data. You're not part of GoFundMe where they're remarketing to you to donate to other things. Instead, now you have the ability to integrate with MailChimp or Groundhog or Salesforce or whatever your CRM is, and you can say, thanks for giving. I really appreciate you. And since you have PayPal up, most of these payment gateways, right? GiveWP isn't a payment gateway. It's a donation form that works with payment gateways. Most of them allow you to sign up for their nonprofit plan. You're going to save about 0.5%. So PayPal, instead of 2.9% and 30 cents, is 2.4% and 30 cents.
Okay.
And like we could do a whole show on the things for nonprofits, but like, or Amazon Smile, like, you know how Warren, when we tell small businesses to claim their Yelp, claim Trustpilot, claim Google My Business, claim all the things everywhere.
Yep.
You need to do that for Amazon Smile so that people can donate to you, right? And let them know what, like, for example, with the nonprofit I coach, Five Sisters Project, that's the name, or they're doing business as, their corporation is A Better Way Inc. So if they don't tell people to look for A Better Way Inc. on Amazon Smile, they're not going to find them.
Yeah.
Because there's no Five Sisters Project.
Yeah.
Like I buy on Amazon all the time. So I'm constantly buying on Amazon. So I think in the last quarter, there's been about $800 or something. No, my total is about $800
Okay.
for all of the, because I switch them around.
Okay. All right. So do you have to do this like consciously? I mean, I shop on Amazon pretty much every day. I don't think I've ever seen a prompt or anything, I've never seen any information that wherever I'm buying from is using this. I mean,
well, okay, so that's the thing. So the nonprofit needs to sign up for it.
Yeah.
Okay, so that when Amazon donates, they have bank account information.
Yeah.
And then the nonprofit needs to tell people to look for them. So as a consumer, I go to smile.amazon.com and then I choose my charity. And once I choose my charity, then a certain percentage of Amazon Smile compliant purchases will go to that charity.
Okay. All right. So nonprofits need to realize they are a business.
100%.
They need to make sure that they're really online integrated with their donations and slash very transparent in a promotion way with their content marketing, i.e. what are you doing with this money, and really extending that feel good. What's the third thing? We got one more thing we're going to give nonprofits today.
Don't be afraid of partnering with a company.
That sounds good. Yeah.
So like Sport Clips partners with St. Jude Cancer Research. So they'll have a certain month where they're shaving heads, and that's charity. I know my friend Beth, who's a small business, Adventure Auto Glass, their heart is for rescue animals. So when you buy a windshield, or when your auto glass is repaired or whatever, you can choose the animal charity that they will donate to from every single repair or replacement.
Nice. That is cool. I like the partnership idea. That's very good. Then you definitely have benefits on both sides. the nonprofit can, well, they can say, look, here are the companies, and I think this is really probably important for local. Here are the companies that we're partnering with, and for the business, they can say, here are the charities that we're supporting. I think that's really good as well.
Yeah, and if it's applicable, you can donate your time. For
Yeah,
example, I could say I'm donating time at the San Antonio Food Bank, and then get all my coworkers to, if I had employees, I could say, where do you want to help in our local economy? Have them all vote so that
yeah,
the employees have ownership in the volunteerism.
yeah, yeah,
And you can do that also with Giving Tuesday.
yeah. I think this is an important point about people giving their time, volunteering their time, because in well, any respect, this is, if you're not giving money, you're giving time, but your time is money, because if you're spending time with this nonprofit, you're not able to do something else. So it is still a transaction. And I think that's also, I'll slip that in, along with well, probably all the points are kind of the same, is that, we're always giving things for people who are giving money, and we're making that very transparent. But I think this content marketing of saying, look, this is what we're doing with your money or your time, and including the people who are just volunteering, and advertising that as well. I think that would be important, because they're also, whether you give money or time, you're also still a customer of
Right.
this
Because the
nonprofit.
volunteers are customers. If I was at the food bank, I'd be like, I'm doing this thing,
Okay.
selfie.
I see. Yeah. Yeah, I think
Good
certainly,
for everybody.
yeah. I mean,
It's a win-win-win.
yeah, for everyone. This is, for social media, this is good for anyone on either side of the nonprofit. So yeah, I mean, if the nonprofits aren't yet doing this, I mean, some do, but some don't, and they should. If you're a small business, we'd be saying you're leaving money on the table.
Well, if you're a nonprofit, we're going to say you're leaving money on the table. People can only donate if they know you need the money and you make it easy.
That's right, and people like recognition. Yeah.
And you have to thank your donors. I mean, this could be an hour show, which is why we're writing a book called The Only Online Marketing Book You Need for Your Nonprofit.
That's right. I'm going to share this as well, because what's really exciting is that the new book is a different color. There we go. This will be the cover of our second book, and it is dramatically different than the cover of our first book, which you can see here on Amazon, which is sort of like this sort of green color.
Yeah, and, green for money.
And now blue for
feeling good.
Blue for feeling good, sustainability, water, blue skies,
nature.
Those blue M&Ms that are so hard to find in the package, and when you find them, they're just so good. Excellent. Well, that's an exciting way to start the week. And yeah, I've got to get back to writing. I did 2 chapters today.
Nice.
I'm pretty proud of myself. Yeah. So
I will. I have a 40 Days to Giving Tuesday worksheet that's included in the book, but I have a link that's for the Google Drive, and if you include that in the YouTube notes and in your blog post, people can copy that. It gives you all the tasks to do from about October 1st to November 30, 2021, which is Giving Tuesday this year.
Well, that's perfect. That's perfect. Perfect. Good. Well, we better get back to work.
Okay, bye.
Have a great day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.